All right, I just finished Orders of Magnitude by Yuval Kordov. And let me tell you, this novella is a trip. It just dropped in January, and the second I saw the cover, I was like, I need to read this. That, plus the blurb, plus the fact that I just learned that there's an entire genre called Incensepunk. Yeah, this review was inevitable. But before we dive into the book itself, I want to take a moment to acknowledge something important. The cover art for Orders of Magnitude is absolutely stunning, and it was created by the incredibly talented artist Xeviuss. Sadly, he passed away last week after a long battle with cancer. And man, I just want to say, his work captured the soul of this book. It's haunting, powerful, and like the best military sci-fi, it tells a whole story before you even open the first page. In the military, they say a warrior never truly dies as long as his deeds are remembered. And I think the same is true for artists. Xeviuss's work will live on, inspiring future readers, writers, and dreamers who look at his art and think, I want to create something like that. Rest in peace, and thank you for the battles you fought, on and off the canvas. So yeah, I picked this book up partially because I'd never even heard of the Incensepunk genre. And if you're sitting there like, Incensepunk? What is that? Some kind of steampunk, but with more candles. You're not alone, my friend. Turns out Incensepunk is science fiction that heavily incorporates religious themes, aesthetics, and philosophy, but without being preachy. It takes faith seriously, doubt, struggle, the search for meaning, without turning into a sermon or propaganda. Think Warhammer 40K, but instead of being grim, dark nihilism, it actually wrestles with faith in a meaningful way. If you've ever wanted a Catholic Space Marine squad investigating supernatural horrors in deep space, congratulations. You're an Incensepunk fan now. All right, so here's the setup. The Vatican has Space Marines. Yeah, Paladin-Captain Samuel Cohen and his squad are sent to an abandoned lunar colony after a mysterious signal is detected. Seems simple. Land, investigate, get out. But because this is sci-fi horror, obviously things go so wrong so fast. The colony was supposed to be empty. It was evacuated years ago, but someone or something is still there. And whatever's inside Serenitatis Station, it does not want visitors. Right off the bat, the atmosphere is perfect. It's got that Ridley Scott Alien, Dead Space, and Event Horizon vibe, where space itself feels cold, empty, and predatory. Kordov gives us just enough world building to make you desperate for more. The Vatican in this future? A legitimate military force. They send armored paladins with exorcists into deep space to handle things no one else can. The power armor is ornate. The soldiers carry blessed relics alongside pulse rifles, and they refuse to plug into the station's systems for fear of digital corruption, which is both a technological and a spiritual risk. That little detail alone, genius. And the colony itself, creepy as hell. Silence, flickering lights, abandoned shrines, and shadows that don't move the way they should. The deeper they go, the worse it gets. Let's talk about Samuel Cohen. If you're expecting a generic action hero, nope. Dude's complicated. He's a former Jew, now a Catholic Space Marine, wrestling with his faith, identity, and past trauma. And here's the thing. His struggle feels real. He's not just, oh no, scary things make me question life. No, he's been questioning everything for a long time. His faith isn't just a plot device, it's part of who he is, and it shapes how he faces the horrors ahead. Oh, and speaking of horror, this book does not mess around. It got demonic holograms, mind-breaking supernatural horrors, a team of battle-hardened Marines who start seeing things they shouldn't. And here's what I love. The horror isn't just physical, it's existential. What happens when the horrors aren't just outside, but inside your own mind? The Marines brought an exorcist with them. You don't do that unless you know you're going to need him. But hey, if you're here for just shooty military sci-fi, you might be caught off guard by the amount of theological introspection. There's a lot of deep stuff about faith, sin, and what happens when you reach out into the void and something answers. Also, it's a novella, so while it packs a punch, it leaves you wanting way more. Some of the world building is hinted at, but never fully explored. And man, I could have spent another 200 pages in this setting. The only solution? Dive back in for another read, which I've already started. Look, if you like sci-fi with existential dread, horror that sticks with you, and action that actually means something, Orders of Magnitude is a must-read. It's fast, it's haunting, and it's unlike anything I've read in a long time. I am now officially an Incensepunk fan, and Yuval Kordov, he's going places. If this is your first dive into Incensepunk, strap in. You're in for a wild ride. And there we have it. That's my take on Orders of Magnitude. Have you read it? Are you into Incensepunk? Let's talk about it in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this review, hit like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Burn bright and burn enough.